In this video, we're going to go over the 2008 AMC12B problem number 10. This problem is interesting. I like it because it takes a mechanic of the AMC competition and it illustrates it very well. And that is that they take older questions, questions from previous years and concepts that you already know, and they add a new twist or a new wrinkle to disguise the solution path just slightly. And see if you are able to manipulate your possession of knowledge to find that solution path. And so when we read this question, it says, bricklayer Brenda would take 9 hours to build a chimney alone. You could probably pause right there, and you should be thinking the general concept that underlies this is what we call the work together formula. That would be something like 1 over A times H plus 1 over B times H equals 1. This is the version of the formula that I like. Other versions will move the H underneath the 1. It's the same formula. A would represent the hours it would take machine A or person A to complete the job alone. B is the hours it would take B alone. And 1 stands for 1 complete job. H is the hours they would take together. Okay, let's see if we can use this though. It says bricklayer Brandon would take 10 hours to build it alone. So far so good. We can write 1/9 H plus 1/10 H equals 1. It says that when they work together though, they talk a lot and their combined output is decreased by 10 bricks per hour. Working together, they build the chimney in 5 hours. So we can change this H to a 5. And we have 1/9 times 5 plus 1/10 times 5. But how do we handle the bricks that they lost? If they're decreasing production by 10 bricks per hour, how do we fit that into this problem? We'll think about that in a second. First, let's think about how we're going to answer the actual question. How many bricks are in the chimney? Well, that's not normally part of a work together problem. And that's the wrinkle, that's the twist they're using to disguise the solution path. It's up to you to figure out a way to use your current knowledge to get there. So instead of 1 complete job, could we call it something different? Yeah, we could call it X bricks. There's X number of bricks, right? And so if there's X bricks, then instead of 1/9, we're going to get X over 9. And instead of 1/10, X over 10. That's great, but now we still haven't dealt with the decreased production when they work together. Well, it says it goes down by 10 bricks, and we're talking about the bricks done per hour per person. So we could just subtract 10 times the 5 hours they're working together for. This equation will produce the answer. There was an opportunity at the beginning to actually do what I call bull rush the problem. And it's not foolproof. There could be some mistaken reasoning, and they may even put a trap answer that relates to what looks logical. And that would be, if it takes Brenda 9 hours to build the chimney, and it makes sense that she builds a certain number of bricks per hour, then shouldn't the total number of bricks be divisible by 9? The answer choices were A at 500, B at 900, and C, it goes on, is 950, D is 1000, and E was 1900. So if you look at the answers, only one of them is divisible by 9. Which one? B. Then it's probably B. And if we didn't know how to progress in the problem, we couldn't think of how to modify the known information and known formulas in the community, then maybe we could just guess B and be right. And in fact, B turns out to be the answer. But you might want to, even though you've reasoned that and it sounds like pretty good reasoning, you might want to develop this path to confirm your suspicions. So how do we solve this then? It's just algebra. We will factor out the 5 from these two, and you'll get 5 times x over 9 plus x over 10 minus 50 equals x. Bring the 10 up to the x, the 9 up to the x to get 19x. Multiply the 9 times 10 over 90. Multiply by 5. You're going to get 95x over 90 minus 50 equals x. Okay, what we did right here is just a simple process. When you're adding two fractions, you bring the d up to the a, the b up to the c, and you multiply the denominators. And so you get over b times d. This is actually what you do when you do the other process of just finding a common denominator. You would multiply this side by d over d, and this one by b over b. This just gets there a little bit faster. So it's just a shortcut for calculating purposes. So we're at 95x over 90 minus 50 equals x. We'll multiply by 90 to get rid of the fraction, because nobody likes those in general. Another tactic that you can use on problems, especially on the AMC and math competitions, is don't calculate even simple calculations until you have to. Because there's often an opportunity to simplify later, and leaving it unsimplified now could make the processing and calculating easier to do. So now we're going to move 90x over here to get 5x. This is going to move over 50 times 90, and you'll see that you get x equals 10 times 90 by dividing the 5 into the 50. That is 900 as suspected.